Awesome. All right. So thank you so much for joining tonight for our coach meet and greet. We are really excited to share just a little bit more about the coaching opportunity. As you'll kind of hear, a lot of us, we got some more peeps joining. Hold on one second before I go any further. Oh, and they're gone. They might be back. So we're going to keep going. So as you'll probably hear from at least, Maggie and Dana and myself, we all kind of started coaching very differently and different reasons for why we started coaching. And I think it's really important for everyone to hear because of the fact that there's no right or wrong way to get into coaching. And there's so many different avenues to be able to do that. And so I think what we're first going to do is just keep it short and sweet and have, and there we're gone.
Just keep going. It's fine.
Keep going. All right. So let's each of us just take a few just to share a little bit more about how we started coaching and how kind of Beachbody came into our world and go from there. So either one, Dana or Maggie, would you like to start?
I'll take it away. So I'm Dana. I have been a coach for a little over 7 years now. When I started my coaching journey, it was mainly because I needed something to personally work on myself. I was really at rock bottom all across the board in my life. I was a newly single mom. I had left an abusive relationship to raise my son alone 6 months prior. I still was carrying around postpartum weight. I had no energy. I was living off coffee. I wasn't exercising. And I had been an athlete my whole life. So that was not, the norm for me. And I struggled with a lot of chronic pain also because I've had 12 hip surgeries. So just the mental, physical, and emotional aspect was a big draw in for me. And I was a bit nervous. I kept saying no to my coach. And then I finally thought, what do I have to lose? And it always reminds me of that saying, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And I knew that. I knew that our life would not get better. I knew that I would not get healthier or happier or gain confidence, if I didn't do something about it. So I figured, why not? I have nothing to lose. I committed to my wellness, to drinking Shakeology, to following a nutrition plan, to reading personal development, which completely changed my life, right? The personal development was a huge aspect for me. And within a couple days of starting my journey, I had actually been looking for opportunities to earn income at home. I was looking at Pampered Chef. I was looking at oils. I was desperate to make income from home because once I became a single mom, I wanted to be home with my son. And that was never something I had thought of before I became a mom. I was never I want to be a work-at-home mom, or I want to make money from home. I always thought I'll go to college, get a job, whatever, but when I became a single mom and I was in the scenario I was in, I didn't want to go back to college and work 2 jobs and put my baby in daycare to get by. That was not the life that I wanted for us. And when my coach got me on a call, very much so like this, to learn about coaching, I was like, this could be the answer to my prayers. This could be the thing that completely changes our life. And so I went all in with the business from day one, knowing that I wanted to build a full-time business, a full-time income. I was not going to let anything stop me from doing that. And I am happy to say that I do run a full-time coaching business. I am extremely grateful for the freedom it's given me, the financial aspect it's provided, but even more so the fulfillment and the joy of serving people and helping people and actually turning my story that was rather tough and dark into something that can really inspire others to see what is possible for their lives if they really commit to making a change and moving towards things that are positive. And we have the most phenomenal community to surround you by, to give you the support, and not just that, but obviously the tools and the community to really help you see those changes that you're looking to make in not just your health and fitness, but also your finances if you dive into the coaching opportunity. So it's not a one size fits all. It is whatever you decide you want it to be. But it is truly life-changing if you fully embrace it for all that it is.
Maggie, do you want to give a shout on your coaching journey?
Sure. All right. Hey, Stace, I just saw you hopped on too. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so my story is a little bit different than Dana's, which is cool because we all have different stories for what brought us here. I have been a coach for a little over 3 years now, And when I started, I didn't even really know about the coach opportunity. I just posted on Facebook that I was looking for something to do at home because I was a stay-at-home mom. I've been a type 1 diabetic for 30 years this year, but at the time it was, 27 years, something like that. And I had always had anxiety about my blood sugars, especially in public at the gym. To make a long story short, because I don't know, I know Alicia is diabetic, but I don't know if that's her on here, so I'm not going to talk too much about the diabetes unless I know there's a diabetic on here. I had diabetes complications because I had not taken care of myself as well as I should have for those 27 years. And when I became a mom, I knew I had to do something. And I was looking for something to do from home so that I could A, manage my blood sugars better and feel more comfortable doing it, and B, be with my daughter because I was a stay-at-home mom. And I did not think I would ever be here when this opportunity came up. You would have said, "Oh, Maggie, in 3 years from now, you're going to be like, running this coaching team," and I would have been like, no way. Like, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. But now, like, this has become so much more for me than I ever thought was possible. I love, love, love being a coach. I love the accountability it has for me for my own health and fitness. B, being able to help other people do the same. And C, when I first started, I became a coach within like 24 hours. I was like, all right, Kelly, I don't think I want to be a full-time coach because I don't have the time. My daughter was little at the time. But I said, I want to coach. I want the opportunity to help people. And I started off very part-time. And it's just every year that my daughter went to preschool, she started out 2 days a week and then 5 days a week. And then, now she'll be in kindergarten next year. I keep adding more and more time throughout my day that I have to devote to this. And I just love it so much. So I'm so incredibly grateful for the opportunity. And I can't wait to see where it takes me. And pass it over to you, Kelly.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. All right. So once again, my story is a little different from everyone on here. I started, actually, it'll be 6 years with Beachbody next week, which is crazy. So crazy. I started as a challenger only. I wanted nothing to do with coaching. I was purely in this because of the fact that I was going through some stuff. And I think a lot of it as I'm a registered nurse, I'm a diabetes educator, and I now have lived with diabetes for 29 years and celiac disease for about 21 years. And I just was putting everyone on the front burner except myself. I put my patients on the front burner, clearly, my children, my husband, my family life, everything. And that saying, they're getting the rest of me, they're not getting the best of me, is kind of what was going on. My husband was living in New York for a good chunk of the week when I started, and I clearly wasn't going to a gym. I didn't really want to go to a gym. I just knew that I felt really uncomfortable in my own skin, and I think it really started to hit me when I started to, every year I made these photo books for my children, and it was the beginning from one year to the end. And I started to notice as I was picking pictures out all the time for, fun things throughout the year, that I was actually not in many. And I think it started to really hit me that either I was not going to be a part of these memory books, that which for me were hopefully something they would have forever. But mom was always behind the camera. And I knew it was truly because of the fact I just didn't feel comfortable in front of the camera. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. I felt exhausted all the time. I just was tapped out. So I kind of Facebook stalked a friend of mine from like growing up, and I saw her post all these pictures, and she was a nurse too, and she was looking fabulous, and I was super jealous. And I think, more than just the physical component, I started to really notice how just energized and like happy she seemed. And we went back and forth at one point, and there was a lot of back and forth. And then finally one night, it was like 10 p.m. I finally was like, I was in bed and I was clearly had no energy again. My husband was out watching TV, and I remember I just said, I'm going to do it. And I walked out to him and I said, I'm going to do this thing. It's either going to work or it's not going to work, but I can't stay like where I'm at. And his words were, well, sign me up too. Let's just do it. And so we started at that point on, and it was the best decision ever. I'm not super like cheesy when it comes to these things, and I feel cheesy when I say it, but it truly was like the best decision I could have ever made, because either I could have stayed where I was, which was really uncomfortable and not a good place, and have my kids continue to watch me grow, like be that way, or I could do something about it and like stop complaining and like make the changes that I knew would stick. And hence why I'm here 6 years later. And I started to coach a while after. It didn't really, coaching wasn't going to be my thing. But it turned into my thing because it became so exciting to share what was working for me, because naturally, who wouldn't want other people and other women to feel this way? And especially moms that were like me. So it became very easy. And ever since then, I've been a coach, and things have changed a lot. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of where that is. And what I wanted to be able to kind of cover a little bit about is just in general, number one, cover some of the misconceptions. Like a lot, I know I had a lot of these when I first started, and I think it's really nice to know that we all had these, and how a lot of them are just baloney, but it's good to hear about it from coaches that have been doing this. And then I'm going to share a little bit more about kind of what happens when you do start as a coach, like not feeling like, you know, you're going to get a lot of help and support from this team. And I think we're all very partial to hear how much our team is really close. And then we'll of course cover, you know, how do you make money and all those good things. So first, Maggie, do you want to cover some of the misconceptions that I know commonly?
Absolutely. Yeah. So a lot of times people, you know, and I know when I first started too, like I mentioned, I was very part-time. And in my mind, I was like, I don't even know if I have time for this. Like, how am I going to have time for this? Right. But that is 100% a misconception. Kind of like, you know, you don't really have time for exercise, but you make the time, right? I mean, 30 minutes a day, you can absolutely squeeze that in if it's important. And even on the days where I am super crazy busy, I will always, well, I'd say I probably work 4 to 5 days a week. I will always find time to squeeze in my work. And I say that to squeeze it in because when you work from home and you do this, you know, you can do it wherever. Like, I will go to pick up my daughter from preschool, and I'll be in the car line for like 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll get on my phone and I'll message people like, hey, you know, thanks for watching my stories. I absolutely love what I do. I could go on and on and on about it. And then, you know, like when my daughter's at school, I'll spend some time working then, or after a meal is made, and, you know, like when my husband's giving her a bath, I have pockets of time throughout the day. And then on the days that, you know, you do have a little bit more extra time, like a weekend, or maybe, you know, when your kids are in school or you have a day off, then you can really spend a chunk of time doing it. But that's the beauty of this, is that it's not a 9 to 5. And you can make it work for you. Like I said, I started very part-time. Dana started full-time, full force. Kelly, I think you kind of started part-time, and now you're like hoping to go, you know, you're you know, you have a nursing job, and, you know, where everyone has things that they need to do, but you can absolutely squeeze this in. And the second thing that I wanted to talk about too is how to get over the feeling of being salesy, because I know a lot of people say, well, I don't want to sell things. And it's like, well, good, because I don't either. But when you find like a product, like a makeup product that you love, or something from the grocery store, and you're like, oh my God, you guys, this is so good. Like, you have to try this. That is how I feel about Beachbody and what we do. just having the opportunity to be able to work out from the comfort of my own home has helped me in so many different ways, from having anxiety about my blood sugars to spending more time with my daughter, to being a great example for her, to saving time and money. And then everything else that we provide is, God, I just love everything about it. And I could go on and on and on. But that's what the thing, that I basically I'm a product of the product, but I try everything that we have. And if it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for me. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to sell something or talk about something that I don't absolutely love. And what we have to offer is really just, it saves every busy mom, every busy person so much time and so much money and so much effort. It's just really, really incredible.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maggie. So this was one of my biggest ones, and I love talking about it, is just in general that I'm not like fit enough to be a coach. Clearly, we talked about before how I just wasn't feeling really good in my own skin. And I think that's probably why I delayed being a coach for a while, is because I just didn't feel like I should be giving any sort of, education or training or anything to people that are trying to be in a better shape, because I just wasn't there. And I have to say, in general, the coaches that have been a part of my team, I find the ones that are just in it. You're in it with everyone that you're inviting to. You're in the trenches with any challenger that you ask to be a part of your team, are so insanely relatable. And think about today's age. Like, it's all about like women power, like being your most confident self, like being like unapologetically you, and not being this picture perfect person, because who really cares about that? Like, it's not relatable. And like, all the people that I would connect with are the moms that are just trying to get through the day, trying to do something to better themselves, and like, be a healthier, happier mom and wife, and like just being you. And that is what really speaks to people nowadays. We don't need the picture perfect image of people anymore. We really just need to see people that are committed to their health and want to help others succeed. So the fact that you're in it and you're sharing what you're doing and being that relatable person is honestly the best possible coach you could ever be. And a lot of that is starting right there in the very beginning with them. So there's no reason to be at goal weights, because at that point, you've already hit your thing. You already hit your markers. So like, as you keep going and you're starting from where you're at right now, you're going to be able to have people watch you in the process and be excited to join you and be a part of that with you. So best coaches, honestly, are those that are just real, relatable, and are able to share that and willing to share that. The other one is that, of course, you always heard it's a pyramid scheme. Well, I think that really became, and that's one of the things that I used to say too. First of all, you have to understand what a pyramid scheme is. And number one, they're illegal. And Beachbody, as you know, have been around for probably like now 20 to 30 years. They've been around for a really long time. Like Tony Horton, like way back when, we've been around since then. So like, it's something that, number one, we would have been squashed so long ago if it was a pyramid scheme. And pyramid schemes really mean that the top kind of stays at the top. It's just kind of shaped at that like funny pyramid kind of look. But the top people stay at the top. And in this company, it's completely the polar opposite that can happen. It's really dependent upon what the work is that you're going to put in. You can easily surpass your coach. You can easily become the number one coach and bump down the number one coach to the number 1,000th coach. Like, you can literally, the work you put in is what you're going to get out of it. But people can really move and shift depending on and grow their business the way that they want to grow their business and surpass anyone in this company. So my hope is that all of you that join us tonight, maybe you're going to be the people that easily surpass all of us on the call because of the hard work that you're putting in and the heart you're putting in. The pyramid schemes are just a baloney thing to people that just don't understand what the company's all about. So those are some of the most common misconceptions that we obviously wanted to share a little bit more about tonight. And please feel free. I don't even know who's on iPhone. Feel free to shout out who you are in the comments. Don't be shy. But if you guys have any questions or misconceptions that have kind of held you back on coaching, or you've heard, please either, unmute yourself and let us know. Put it in the comment section if you're shy, and then we'll be happy to answer it. But I wanted to share over for Dana to kind of share a little bit more about like how as coaches, how we earn income.
Yay! We earn income a lot of ways, actually. I'm just going to go over the basics. But the first way we earn income as coaches, which is your primary income source as a brand new coach. Oh, hey, I think you say Charlize, Canada. The first way you earn income as a coach is commission. So you make 25% on any purchase that anyone makes. And not only do we have Beachbody on Demand for fitness streaming, but we also have Shakeology, we have the performance line, we have collagen, we have greens boost, we have beach bars, we have a phenomenal shop of all kinds of products and programs. So we have something for everyone, for every type of need that people can have. And you make 25% commission on that. The second way we earn income is as you start to grow a loyal base of customers and coaches, you start to accrue what we call volume, which starts to help you earn residual income once you're an emerald rank and above, which essentially means income that is grown whether you earn commissions that week or not. I would say that at this point in my business, and I have to insert the disclaimer, that Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. That is truly dependent on each coach's diligence, skill, and effort. But at this point in my business, about 85%, 80% of my income is residual. That is because I worked my butt off for 5 to 6 years, and I'm still consistent in my business every single month. But I do not work the amount of hours that I did to get my business to the place that I did in the beginning. And that's the blessing of a network marketing business, is that the longer you're in it and the more you put into it, the more that it kind of builds in the long run. It's not something where you're going to make a ton of money the first year, right? You have that learning curve of learning how to be a coach, figuring things out, figuring out systems that work for you. And then as you grow and you show up consistently, that starts to grow that business. And that's what can really change your life, right? The next way we earn income is that as you start to grow a team, and the cool part about coaching is that any which way you look at it, you have to help other people to be successful. To be successful as a coach, just coaching fitness clients, you have to help people with their health and fitness goals, to work on their mindset, developing routines, nutrition, right? Which we have all the tools for. That's not something you have to figure out on your own. And when it comes to the coaching business aspect, is that as you start to help coaches learn the business and learn how to do what you're doing, right? Which we have all the trainings, the calls, the resources to help you with that as you learn. Is that Beachbody rewards us a matching bonus for that. So it is not income taken from your coaches, but it is income that Beachbody rewards you for helping your team be successful. And the next way we earn income is once you hit specific ranks within the company, we earn quarterly bonuses, and they're pretty significant quarterly bonuses. So if you're really a go-getter and you want to build something that is income producing and sustainable for your family, that's absolutely possible. If you are willing to learn and to work for it, those quarterly bonuses can really be a blessing. So that is the basics sums of how we earn income. But the point being, the opportunity is really endless. And like I said, this can be something where you work it part-time as a hobby for a little bit of extra income, or to pay for your own products, or to, do fun things a couple times a month with your family. It can be something that becomes a part-time income producing opportunity for you, or you could just decide to go all in like I did and build a business from home, right? Full-time. So it really is what you decide to make it.
And the exciting thing, guys, is this is something that can change. Like for me, like I said, I wanted nothing to do with coaching. And then I started to do it a little bit, and then I started to do it a little bit more, and then a little bit more. And because of that, it has given me the opportunity to now be, you know, more home with my children. I'm still a nurse, but my hours have been cut a lot. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't say yes and try and see kind of where it went. And now my plans and thoughts have changed again. Like I can see myself doing a lot more of this and less of the daily clock in, clock out. And I love both. But for me, like as a nurse, for any of the like folks that might be in like a medical kind of area, I feel like this has just been another avenue for me to be able to help even more people. Like my job is to preach, you know, health and wellness and, you know, routine exercise and healthy eating habits with all the patients that I see with diabetes. And this, I have those tools and I'm able to just give those to even more people. So it's been different. And it's talked about the changing of like mindset of being super against it to now being like, oh my God, I want to tell everyone about this. And I am excited. I'm just seeing here, may have missed this, other costs associated with signing up and being a coach. Really, the costs are in general signing up. I mean, you are going to be a coach of doing these products, right? So like you're typically someone that's going to sign up. Most people sign up as what we call a challenge pack. I don't know what you might have or don't have. Most people sign up for what they call a challenge pack because that gives people access to the fitness programs for a year in addition to both the nutrition programs and then Shakeology. But to start a business for a challenge pack, at least US dollars, I'm just talking US dollars because it's off the top of my head, you could start that by paying $140 for everything and you have that year of fitness. You have both nutrition plans and you have 30 basically meals with Shakeology or Performance Line for $140. So that's my investment into starting a business, but it's also giving me all the things that I need for my own health, right? And then ongoing, I'm just doing the stuff. I'm doing those same things. There is about a $16 coach fee US each month that just does our processing so they can bill us, they can, you know, do the back end of the coach office and pay us and all those things. But really it's a matter of by me just keeping up and having Shakeology each month and paying part of that is that, you know, $16 coach fee, then that's really how I can grow my business. And of course things can change depending upon what you're looking
If I can chime in on this too, is that they take care of all of the packaging, the shipping, the orders. There's nothing that you have to keep in stock or remember every single month. It is all absolutely done for us. Our customer service is phenomenal. If there's something people need to change or call about. So really this is essentially you're paying $16 a month to start like a real business. You don't have any overhead costs like you would if you were starting a brick and mortar business or something that you have to pay out of pocket for all those things. So it's a really beautiful part of our business, I think.
And honestly, you could have like 2 to 3 people join you and you've just paid that back. You know, like it's not hard to pay that back. And once again, you're investing in your own health and things that you're using and you would be doing. And so for me, I'd be doing this whether I was a coach or not because of how much it's helped me. So the bonus is now I just get paid on top of it, which is really nice.
Actually, I want to chime in on this as a misconception or I don't know, a fear maybe. The whole income and the buy-in part of coaching. Because when I was new, I was a newly single mom. I was not making a ton of money at the time from home. But I really had to look at the priorities of where I was spending my money. And I was spending a lot of money on iced coffee and, you know, just like sweet things because that's what I would eat it late at night to like, you know, deal with my feelings of my situation and how unhappy I was. And when I thought about it, it was like, not only was I getting everything that I needed to truly change my life, my health, my energy, my moods, my confidence, which is what I needed, but I had the opportunity to then earn income. And so when I started, I got what I spent on my own challenge pack paid back within, I think, a week and a half because I had a couple mom friends that wanted to get fit with me. And helping them get started on their journey was obviously super fun and exciting, and great accountability to do it together. But it also paid for what I had invested in starting my business. So.
And I wanted to chime in too. Charlize, I know that you just recently purchased everything. And I pulled you up to see if you were a customer or coach, and I have you down as a customer, but we can talk about getting you changed over to a coach. That's, if this is something you're interested in, that is something that is super easily done. And one thing that I also wanted to bring up that I didn't really talk about before, partially because my Dexcom is like blowing up. We went to a birthday party and I had some cake, and my blood sugar was like 140, 150, and then all of a sudden now I'm like just shooting up double arrows. So I'm like, oh crap. But anyway, something too that I love and that I feel is so important to become a coach is to really, really understand the value of what we have to offer. So prior to me doing Beachbody, I used to pay a gym membership. I used to pay for personal training. I actually met my husband at the gym in a boot camp class. And you guys, personal training and a gym membership, that was costing me hundreds of dollars a month. And I was not getting what I get with Beachbody. I was not getting a type 1 only or a fitness nutrition accountability support group. I was not getting a coach. I was not getting, the opportunity to look at 2 separate meal plans. I also have a dietetics degree, and I fully support both of these meal plans. I prefer one over the other, but that's neither here nor there. The fact is, you have an opportunity to check out 2 awesome meal plans created by registered dietitians that you're not going to be paying for going to a nutritionist or going to a dietitian. The Shakeology, when you break it down for what we pay for it, it's less than $4 a day, which what Dana was saying, you can easily go, I know I'm going to spend $9 tomorrow morning at Dunkin' Donuts, getting my daughter 2 donuts and my husband a donut and a coffee for myself. I mean, that, $4 a day, that's nothing. Plus, I'm getting a delicious, nutritious, healthy meal that I look forward to every single day. And the coach fee for, monthly for what we do, $17 per month. Beachbody provides everything for us. They provide the nutrition plans. They provide so much incredible training. Our group provides so much incredible training. We have access to these world-class trainers. They're always coming out with new content. And $17 per month is just such an incredible value for the coaching opportunity and for everything that you get. Even if you decide, hey, I don't want to become a coach, I just want to keep the coach discount, and that's totally fine. But either way, when you compare it to what other places have to offer and how much they charge, what we do is just such an incredible value. So if anybody has questions, how do you find people to join? Okay, so Donna, you are a friend of Amy's, who is part of our Type 1 Dream Team, and I'm not sure how you asked Amy or if Amy asked you, but basically just social media, word of mouth, sharing about what we do on your Facebook or your Instagram, talking to your friends and family. When you start working out from home and following a nutrition plan and you feel good and you look good, people are going to be like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? Naturally, you're just going to talk about it. And when you talk about all the benefits, I'm saving so much time, I'm saving so much money, I'm getting incredible workouts in, I have a support team, people are just going to naturally want to know more. And that's when you bring up the opportunity, hey, come check us out, and that's really how you get people to join. And we also teach you that. We provide you different trainings on how to post, what to post. We will help you with that. I know I am not, believe it or not, I am not a computer techie person. I do not like technology. I was born in the wrong century. I just thank God and thank my lucky stars every day my husband married me because he's a computer person. And if I can do this, anybody can do this. So hopefully that answers your question, but feel free to ask any more.
Just be you. be you and be willing to share, be willing to commit to the program, because not only is it going to make you just feel incredible, it's, you know, by you sharing that and being, you know, vulnerable to share that, it's going to naturally make people really interested in what you do. So as I tell everyone, just stay consistent to your own journey and share that. And then behind the scenes, you know, in general, like friends, family, you know, coworkers, sharing on social media, connecting with people, like naturally people are going to be curious and you're going to invite them to join you. Like you're inviting them to, you know, one of the best parties in town. It's their own health, right? Like helping them commit to that. And you're just giving them the tools. There's nothing you should feel bad about when you ask people to join you in this, because it's pretty incredible. And it's why I'm here 6 years later, and Dana's here 7 years later, and Maggie's here and said she was going to coach in 24 hours after she started. It's because it's an incredible gift that we have. And it's exciting to be able to help others feel the same way. So
I just want to add on to that is like, I think there's a really like important mental shift that has to happen when you're, you know, a newer coach. And that's kind of, it's really developed. The belief of what we do and what we have to offer is really developed by you experiencing your own transformational journey, whether that is physically, mentally, emotionally, weight loss, building confidence, overcoming self-doubts and fears, and, you know, learning how to have routine and healthy habits, and believing in yourself more, right? When you start to have those things and see how it affects your daily life, your family, your energy, just who you are as a person, and how you think differently and how you show up differently in life, that's like the real kicker. Because when you experience that, you can't help but want to go share it, because you know there are so many other people out there that are struggling every single day with anxiety or depression or being overweight or stressed out or not confident in their bodies, right? And there are so many people that need to hear the stories of real people who are pursuing change in a sustainable and maintainable way that can actually fit into their routine. And so once you start sharing those things, it's why we say, like, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be at a goal weight. You can have things you're still going through, right? Like per real life personal struggles. People connect to those kinds of things because perfection is not relatable. Like real life is relatable. And when you start to share that, you start to find that people connect to it and have interest in what you're doing. As for the learning how to actually work the business, we have trainings for that. We also do weekly calls. We have weekly corporate calls with our company, with top coaches that share, you know, success tips on all things in the business you could ever possibly imagine. This past Monday's call was actually on how to connect with people, and how to invite them to join you. So there really is nothing that you're just going to have to like figure out how to do on your own, how to connect people, how to help people. We teach you all of that as long as you are willing and coachable, and hungry to learn, and you want to really not only change your life, but you want to help other people.
I wanted to throw out too, just in case your lease is like, whoa, what are you talking about? Once you hit a certain rank in the company, then you can start to get free leads, because Beachbody is such a ginormous company that Charlize, you just went on and you logged on to Beachbody and you signed up and you were automatically assigned to a random coach, and that happens to be me. And I've reached out to you and, you know, asked how I can help you in your journey. And that is another way that we find people to join us. We just talk about what we have to offer when we get these free leads. Sometimes people respond, sometimes they don't. But, you know, the beauty too about what we do is that obviously this is not something that is gonna, you know, this is not a quick fix. This is not, all of us Beachbody coaches we're never about a quick fix. This is something that you are gonna have to work on. And just as in, you know, like with your own personal health journey, the same thing as coaching. You have to put the time into it, the effort. You're going to fail. You know, I remember the first time I did a video, I was like, oh my God, I was like freaking out. And now it's just like, whatever, right? You're fine. Like, you just have to practice and you get better at it, just like with everything. So yeah, we could go on and on and on and on.
Yeah. You guys, I think the biggest thing is just know that, if this is something that you want to be able to pursue more, it's just like anything. You try it and you see if it's something that's a good fit for you, or not. But you don't get anywhere if you don't try, right? Like, and it's really exciting. And I think that this community is such a supportive and amazing bunch, and we would have never come into each other's lives if it wasn't for this opportunity. So, if this job only gave me like a healthier, happier me, and amazing friendships, and I mean, it's given me a lot more, a lot of travel opportunities, a lot of amazing other things that we didn't even dive into tonight. But that's worth it to me. And the other stuff is bonus. And there's a lot of other things, like I said, that we haven't even touched on, that Beachbody has, given us in regards to, travel opportunities for our family. And, you run away from being shy on a camera. You know what? Here's the scoop. I'll tell you. Most of us there was no Instagram, right? I don't even know. Did Instagram even have it when I first started? I don't even think so. Facebook, like I did my first post and I threw my phone underneath the sofa and I ran out of the house, and I came back hours and hours and hours later because I was nervous by what people would think. And the bottom line is, it doesn't matter what they think. I loved what it was doing for me. So just like you raving about your favorite movie you just saw, or you raving about these new jeans that make your ass look amazing, like whatever it is, like you just share about it because you're super excited. Like, who cares, right? And this is where it is. You don't have a lot of self-confidence. None of us did. I did a before picture wearing my husband's boxers and t-shirt because I didn't feel comfortable in any of the clothes that I wore because I was not me. We all start a lot of this because we were not confident in ourselves. And that's why this is a physical journey, but it's almost more a mental journey, because now I can say I'm at a point where I'm like, if you don't like it, defriend me. I'm cool with it. Like, it's all good. Like, you're not going to hurt me. You're not going to do anything, to make me feel sad. I'm just going to share what's working for me and something I'm really happy about. And you can be a part of it, and you don't have to. It's okay either way. I'm still going to love you, but you don't have to like me. It's okay. And these are the things. It's personal development. I thought personal development was like hocus pocus cheesy stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm all set with this. I listen to it going to work every day, and it's something that I've grown to love because we all need to do that. Our brain is the most powerful thing, and when you can exercise it in a way of doing these things like personal development, whether it's reading, podcasts, anything that makes you feel better about you, the other stuff follows, but when you don't feel good about yourself, physically, mentally, everything, it pays a price. So, this is like when we say the whole journey of you being a better you, it truly is. And physical is that one portion of it. But loving yourself a little bit more and knowing it's okay to love yourself more and take that time for yourself is even better. And everyone deserves that, right? Everyone deserves that. So we hope, we've answered some of those questions. I'm sure there's other questions, and you're always welcome to reach out, whoever invited you to this, anyone in our group, we share questions, anything at all. We are an open book. Hopefully you kind of see that through tonight. But we really do appreciate you guys taking the time to hop on. Clearly we love to share this opportunity, and we welcome anyone that is interested in joining us. And if you are, then give us a shout, and we'll, get you started and get you ready to join this lovely crew. But we thank you again so much for joining us, and we hope you guys have a wonderful night.
Thanks, Donna. Thanks, Charlize. And
Bye.
Alicia, if you watch the recording.
Yeah, everyone watch the recording. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.